Yes, it is. Welcome into Warriors Live here on 95.7 The Game. Mark Randy with you live from Chase Center as we get ready for Warriors and Lakers. Steph and LeBron once again. Of course, these two teams, they met here at Chase Center on Christmas. That was a down-to-the-wire win for the Lakers over the Warriors. But the Dubs back at home against these Lakers. LeBron on the injury report, but he is expected to play. Steph Curry will be playing, so we get another edition of Steph versus LeBron. And given where these two guys are in their careers, who knows how many more of these matchups we're going to get. So savor them when you have the opportunity to see those two share the floor. Take advantage, and that's what tonight is. Steph versus LeBron. We'll get to some interesting numbers between these two in just a little bit, but again, welcome in. It's Warriors Live on 95.7 The Game. Mark Randy with you. Warriors Live is always presented by Xfinity. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity. Bring on the good stuff. It is the 22-22 Warriors hosting the 24-18 Lakers. The Lakers currently 5th place in the Western Conference. The Warriors are on the outside not only of the playoff picture, but of the play-in picture, sitting 11th right now, but there's only 3 games separating the Warriors and the Lakers. Again, the Lakers 5th, the Warriors 11th, but only 3 games between them in those two spots. So it is a very jumbled Western Conference, and the Warriors could really use a head-to-head win against one of these other teams that is right in the middle of that jumbled Western Conference, again, from spots 5 to 11. Let's begin here with our injury report, as I mentioned just a second ago. Our injury report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. For more information, visit boxerlaw.com. Only 2 Warriors not playing tonight. The 2 that we didn't expect to play tonight. Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga both remain out. Draymond Green dealing with that left calf strain. I would expect we'll get an update from the Warriors on Draymond Green within the next couple of days. They did say they were going to reevaluate him in a week, and that was a week ago, but it's not always on the day when they get these updates out, but I'd expect something coming up shortly from the Warriors on Draymond Green. Same goes for Jonathan Kuminga, who's dealing with a right ankle sprain. Again, he's still out. It has been 3 weeks since the Warriors said he will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. They haven't announced anything official. There hasn't been an official press release from the Warriors on Kuminga, but just chatting with Steve Kerr pregame, he did say this about Kuminga about a half hour ago. He said, quote, "He's not close to coming back. He was on a bike just now. He has not been on the court in any capacity other than just shooting stationary shots. It's going to be some time." End quote. That was Steve Kerr on Jonathan Kuminga. So no official update from the Warriors on Jonathan Kuminga. But I would expect one within, again, similar to Draymond, a day or 2. I would imagine, though, the Kuminga update is not going to be much of an update. It will probably be he's slowly making progress. We'll reevaluate him again in another week or maybe another 2 weeks. We do not seem to be close at all to a Jonathan Kuminga return. The good news for the Warriors is those are the only 2 Warriors that are out tonight. Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga out. Andrew Wiggins, Brandon Pajemski, and GP2 all on the injury report, but they are expected to play. Wiggins is dealing with some minor back soreness. Brandon Pajemski still listed with that abdominal injury that cost him a big chunk of this season. He made his return in Thursday's win over the Bulls. He said postgame it felt like he was around 70%. He's on the injury report with that same injury, but it's injury management. He's expected to play. The Warriors just being cautious with him. And then GP2 is battling a little bit of a bug. He's on the injury report with an illness, but he is expected to play for the Warriors tonight. Meanwhile, as we continue with our injury report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, for the Lakers, LeBron James on the injury report with left foot injury management, but JJ Redick speaking pregame has said he is available. LeBron will play tonight. Rui Hachimura, left calf soreness. He was probable, then he was downgraded to questionable, and he has now just moments ago been ruled out. So no Rui Hachimura tonight for the Lakers. Anthony Davis is probable. He's expected to play. He's been been dealing with right calf soreness. I saw him warm up pregame about an hour ago. He looked good. He's expected to play as well for the Lakers. Christian Wood is still out. He has not yet played this year. He's recovering from left knee surgery. It's kind of been a long way back for him. I think most people that are around the Lakers on a daily basis had expected him to be back before now. He has not returned, and he will not be returning tonight. And then the only other notable one is Bronny James. He's out, not because of an injury, but because he's on assignment with the G League Lakers. So no Bronny James tonight, no Christian Wood, and no Rui Hachimura. But LeBron James and Anthony Davis are both ready to go tonight against the Warriors, who again are without Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga, but everybody else is available for the Warriors today. Okay, that's our injury report here on Warriors Live on 95.7 The Game. And Warriors Live, as always, is presented by Xfinity. At home or on the go, you'll get the fastest internet to all of your devices. One other thing that Steve Kerr did mention earlier today on his pregame press conference, he did confirm that Quinton Post is going to play today. Not that he's been dealing with an injury, but you just never know what the rotation is going to look like on a given night. Steve Kerr pregame asked how the rotation might change. Will it grow to 12 men, to 13 men? Are you going to cut some people out of the rotation and keep it around a 10-man rotation as he's going with right now? But again, no Draymond and no Kuminga. He was asked how the rotation might change when those two guys are back, and he said, quote, "Good question. If we find something, we've got to stick with it and keep doing that until we need to change things up." However, Steve Kerr was asked this post-game on Thursday, and Cam, apologies, I'm going out of order here. The third cut you have lined up for me. Steve Kerr asked how much he trusts Quinton Post and Guy Santos. Remember those two coming off of career nights on Thursday. Guy scored 19, a career high. Quinton Post scored 20, a career high. They both made 5 threes. So the question is, are they going to stick in the rotation going forward, Steve? Here's that question and answer. Steve Kerr on his trust of Quinton Post and Guy Santos.
For Quinton and Guy, they've played well in the past 2, 3, maybe 4 games.
Quinton?
And Guy, yeah. But for guys like of their experience, how long does it take for them to earn your trust?
Oh, they have my trust now. It's just a question of once we're healthy and JK and Draymond are back, are there minutes? So that's the question.
I mean, that doesn't sound particularly encouraging that no matter what happens in terms of health for the Warriors, that those two guys are going to have a guarantee of minutes. Now, of course, it all depends how they perform, and Draymond and Kuminga are not back yet, and I would not expect them to be back Tuesday when the Jazz are in town either. Certainly not Kuminga, and most likely not Draymond either, although we don't know that for sure. That's just the way that it seems like it's going for those two right now. So the good news is if you're Quinton Post and Guy Santos, you still have a lot of time to prove that you deserve to stay in the rotation. Tonight is going to be interesting because something else that Steve Kerr said pregame today was now is the time when opposing teams are going to kind of change and shift the way that they defend Quinton Post. Steve Kerr said pregame, Quinton will definitely play tonight, but you have to anticipate how teams will start to guard him. He added that he expects the Lakers are going to throw new things at him, things that he has not yet seen at the NBA, and he guessed that the Lakers are going to have a wing, not a center, guard Quinton Post. So maybe that's an adjustment we see from the Lakers, who have the tape of the Warriors win on Thursday when Quinton Post made 5 threes and scored 20 points and made life so much easier on Stephen Curry. There's going to be an adjustment defensively, and how do the Warriors combat that? How does Quinton Post combat that? That's going to be a big factor, and if he's going to be able to continue to play well, and when the Warriors get healthy, if he's going to be able to stay in the rotation. I think it's interesting because Draymond and Kuminga aren't really blocking Quinton Post. They might be blocking Guy Santos. Those three really all play the same position. And Draymond at times could play some 5, but the Warriors have said, and Draymond himself has said numerous times, they don't want to play him that many minutes at the 5. If Quinton Post is getting minutes at the 5 now, I can't see why he can't get minutes at the 5 when Draymond and Kuminga are back. It might not be the same story for Guy Santos, but I don't see Kuminga and Draymond blocking Quinton Post. I think it's going to be up to Quinton Post and his play. And if he's playing well, he's going to continue playing because he gives the Warriors something that neither Kevon Looney nor Trayce Jackson-Davis can give them. And it's shooting, it's floor spacing, and it makes things so much easier on the Warriors offense, but specifically on Steph Curry. Here's Steve Kerr post-game on Thursday after Quinton Post's career night where he scored 20 points and made 5 threes, talking about what Quinton Post brings to the floor. Here's Steve Kerr post-game Thursday.
It just opens up the floor, He picks and pops, and that means the other team's big guy has to go with him, and that means that defender's not in the paint. So Steph was the happiest guy in the building tonight, with all that room to work with. The game got a lot easier for all of our guys. So it was really exciting just watching Quinton, but it goes beyond the shooting. It's the feel. You saw the pass he made to Lindy at the end for the 3. Like he sees and feels the game, and he's got some toughness to him too. He's a physical 7-footer. He's not a finesse 7-footer. He's a real 7-footer and likes to mix it up. And really exciting to see him playing like that and getting his chance and making the most of it.
Yeah, that's Steve Kerr post-game on Thursday, and you heard it there. And I think it's one of the most important lines. He made essentially Steph Curry the happiest man in Chase Center on Thursday because he made his life so much easier. When there is just that spacing on the floor from the 5 position, from your 5, from your center, it makes everything else offensively that much easier. And that has really been the story for the Warriors of late. It's been so difficult on Steph just to get a shot. Not to score, but to get a look, to get a shot attempt. It has not been easy for the Warriors to get that done. Like you think back to the Warriors' previous game when they lost against Sacramento, Steph took 2 field goal attempts in the entire second half? It was not a large amount. He was struggling to even get a shot off, and it's no fault of his own. It's because when he's out there with a bunch of players who aren't consistently making shots from the perimeter, the defense can just shade multiple bodies, at least 2, sometimes 3, to Steph and Curry, and and they can fully commit one guy to just face guard and ball deny Steph. But even when he gets the ball, you can send a double his way, and the rest of the defense is playing a 3-on-4 game elsewhere, but the Warriors haven't been good enough. Those 4 other Warriors haven't been good enough to take advantage at any consistent level to where they can make opponents pay for sending that much attention Steph's way. So it's been frustrating for Steph. It's been bad for the Warriors' offense in general. But now you get a player, and Guy Santos is part of this as well because he's been shooting the hell out of the ball from downtown. But it's specific, I think, to Quinton Post because there's no other 5 on this roster that can do what Post does. You get that kind of shooting, again, from Guy and from Quinton, but specifically for this point, from Quinton, it spaces everything else out, and it really changes the calculus and the geometry of the court on the offensive side for the Warriors. So Quinton Post, keep an eye on him tonight. Now, it is going to be interesting. Steve Kerr saying he thinks the Lakers might throw some wings on Quinton Post. I also would not be shocked if we saw Anthony Davis check Post at times as well. And Anthony Davis is one of the best big defenders in the league, and he's got some quickness. He's got a lot of length. I'm sure that he'll be able to bother Quinton Post. It's going to be an interesting challenge because now, again, not a lot of tape out there, but there is some tape, and opposing teams are going to be developing a game plan to try to slow down Quinton Post, and I think that begins tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we'll break it down post-game as well because I'll be back for Warriors wrap-up after this game tonight. And a big part of our conversation, I'm sure, is going to be Quinton Post's impact, whether it was large again or the Lakers did something to take him out of the game, and how the Warriors can adjust back or whatever comes from that battle, that particular battle in this game. It's Quinton Post and how the Lakers defend him because clearly it made the Warriors' offense a whole lot better back on Thursday. We'll see how that continues today. All right, let's keep it going here on Warriors Live. Mark Randy with you here on 95.7 The Game as we get ready for Warriors and Lakers. Tip-off is at 5:30. I've got you covered for the next 10 or so minutes. Then we'll take a quick break, and we'll hand it off to Tim Roy and Tom Tolbert and company, who are getting set as we speak above the Chase Center floor right now. That's coming up again at the top of the hour at 5. They'll take you all the way until tip-off at 5:30 through the entire game, and then I'll be back for Warriors wrap-up once this one ends here on 95.7 The Game. Okay, how about some numbers for Stephen Curry and LeBron James? That's what I said to begin the show here, to begin Warriors Live. This is probably one of the handful of last times we get to see Steph Curry and LeBron James in the regular season. I don't think I'm going that far out on a limb. It might be the last. I mean, there's a possibility it's the last time we see these two teams play, or these two players play against each other at Chase Center. That is a real possibility. Now, I wouldn't bet on that, but we don't know for sure if LeBron James is going to play basketball next year. I think he will, but as LeBron tends to do, he hasn't made his plans for the future totally known, so you never know. My only point is I'm not going to speculate on the futures of these two players. Whenever you have the opportunity to watch Steph versus LeBron, savor it. Savor it. How about this? This is the 25th regular season meeting between these two players, games in which they both played in the regular season against each other. 25th. In the previous 24, Steph Curry has won 12. LeBron James has won 12. How about that? It's 500. It is even between these two in the regular season. Of course, if you include the postseason, the Warriors and Steph Curry have the edge because they met in the finals all those times, and the Warriors won 3 of 4 matchups. And obviously, there was a Warriors-Lakers postseason series. LeBron won that one, but still. But just in the regular season, 24 matchups. Steph has won 12. LeBron has won 12. Curry is averaging 24.3 points per game against LeBron James in the regular season. Meanwhile, LeBron James, how about this? I mean, he has just been so good against the Warriors. He's averaging nearly 30 points, 29.8 points, 9.1 rebounds, and 7 assists per game against Stephen Curry in the regular season. That's through 24 games. Tonight is game number 25 between these two legends. Take advantage, soak it in. We don't know how many more of these we're going to get. It's Steph versus LeBron. I'm looking forward to just seeing those two legends on the floor once again tonight. With Steph Curry in mind, let's get to our Take It to the Bank prediction, brought to you by Fremont Bank, full-service banking with no compromises. There's a chance for a little bit of history tonight for Stephen Curry. I will predict, again with our Take It to the Bank prediction, brought to you by Fremont Bank, that Stephen Curry passes Ray Allen for 27th on the NBA all-time scoring list. Steph needs 25 points to do that, 24 to tie Ray, 25 to pass him. Allen scored at 24,505 points in his NBA career. So lock it up. My Take It to the Bank prediction. Steph Curry will score 25 points tonight and pass the great Ray Allen for 27th on the NBA all-time scoring list. That is my Take It to the Bank prediction, brought to you by Fremont Bank, full-service banking with no compromises. How about this? I should have mentioned this earlier when talking about Quinton Post and Keith Santos. Those two each made 5 threes. Both were career highs, by the way. On Thursday, the first time the Warriors ever had multiple bench players with 5 or more three-pointers made. Ever. Not just since, 1970. Ever. The first time ever the Warriors had multiple players off the bench make 5 or more threes in a single game. Quinton Post and Guy Santos doing things not only they haven't done in their career, both scoring career highs on Thursday, but doing things that have never happened in the history of the Warriors franchise. That's pretty darn impressive. A great showing for Quinton Post and Guy Santos. We'll see what they have in store tonight as we get ready for Warriors and Lakers. Again, tip-off at 5:30. I've got you covered for the next 5 or so minutes here on Warriors Live, and then Tim Roy, Tom Tolbert, and company will take over coming up shortly. Before we get on out of here, let's get to our NBA out-of-town game of the night, which is sponsored by the San Francisco International Airport. Wherever your team goes, you can get there from SFO. There are 14 games around the association today, including Celtics Celtics Mavericks from Dallas. This is a rematch of last year's NBA Finals. Luka Doncic remains out for the Mavericks as he's dealing with the left calf strain, and the Mavericks are one of the many Western Conference teams hovering near 500. They're at 24-21 coming into this one. Meanwhile, the Celtics, they're 31-14, one of the best teams in the NBA. They just recently, of course, back on Martin Luther King Day, beat the Warriors by 40 here at Chase Center. They're trying to start playing better basketball. They're just 5-5 in their last 10. But right now, as we check in on this score, it is 110-97 in favor of Boston. About 4 minutes to go in regulation in Dallas. So unless the Mavericks have a great performance over the Final Four, it looks like the Celtics are going to go into Dallas and get a win over the Doncic-less Dallas Mavericks. But again, it's Celtics 110, Mavericks 97. So obviously it's too late to get down to Dallas for this game, but just know that SFO can help get you to Dallas or anywhere else an NBA game is going on whenever you need. And maybe you want to plan a trip to Dallas when the Warriors are in town. That only happens once this regular season. It's February 12th, only a couple of weeks away, and SFO, of course, can help you get there for that game, no problem. That is our out-of-town NBA Game of the Night, sponsored by the San Francisco International Airport. Wherever your team goes, you can get there from SFO. All right, fun matchup, Celtics and Mavericks. Again, a finals rematch from last year when the Celtics, led by Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, got their championship, first championship of this era for the Celtics. I think one thing that's interesting as we continue on this Warriors homestand to keep in mind is the Warriors are in the middle now of a 9-game stretch where they don't have to leave Northern California. You have 8 home games, and then the one road game was last week, I guess earlier this week in Sacramento, and you lost that one, of course, but you're 4 games in to this stretch of 9 games where you don't have to leave Northern California. You beat Washington, you lost to Boston, you lost to Sacramento, and you beat Chicago. You're 2-2 through 4 games. What is the Warriors' record in their next 5 all at home? You got the Lakers tonight, you got Utah on Tuesday, Oklahoma City on Wednesday, Phoenix on Friday, and then Orlando the following Monday. In these final 5 games of this homestand, what's the Warriors' record going to be? You're sitting at 22-22 right now. You would very much like to win at least 3 and be 25-24 or better going on to your upcoming road trip, which is a long one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-game road trip coming up for the Warriors after these next 5 games at home. So these next 5 are really, really important for the Warriors. You've got, again, Lakers tonight, Utah, Oklahoma City, Phoenix, and Orlando. You feel good about the Utah game. Oklahoma City is going to be really tough. And then you've got, I think, games that you feel like could go either way. The Lakers, the Suns, and Orlando. If the Warriors can take 2 of those 3, get the Utah one, and then, give it your best effort against Oklahoma City, but that's also the back end of a back-to-back. 3-2 should be the Warriors' goal, but you can get a little bit greedy. But the way to do that and to get greedy is by first winning tonight against the Lakers, and that would be a big one for the Warriors as they try to gain a little bit of ground in this clumped up Western Conference standings right now, seeds 5 through 11. All right, that'll do it for Warriors Live here on 95.7 The Game. As always, presented by Xfinity. At home or on the go, you'll get the fastest internet to all of your devices. My name is Mark Randy. I'll be back with you for postgame on Warriors Wrap-Up here on 95.7 The Game. But for now, I'll sign off, hand it over to Tim Roy, Tom Tolbert, and company. They've got you covered. Warriors, Lakers next on 95.7 The Game.